Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you had a great day today. Are you ready to talk about the letter W? Well, before we do that, let's say our pledge. Let's stand up. Put your right hand over your heart. Look at the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you can sit down. I picked out a Bible story for us today, one that I've already read to you, and it's probably one of your favorites and mine too, but it's about David and Goliath, and it's called The Young Hero and the Horrible Giant. So listen as I read. God's people had some scary enemies, but the Philistines were the scariest of them all. And now the Philistines had come to fight them. The Philistines had a secret weapon called, that's right, Goliath. Goliath was a terrifying soldier, and worst of all, a giant. A giant so strong and so tall and so scary that no one had ever been able to fight him and lived to tell the tale. So there they were, the Philistines standing on top of one hill and God's people standing on top of the other. And every day Goliath came out and he shouted, "Send your best soldier to fight me. If he wins, we will be your slaves. But if I win, you will be our slaves." No one spoke and no one moved. "Chickens," Goliath bellowed. "Your God can't save you. I'll rip your heads off and have you on toast." His beady, greedy eyes glowered at them hungrily from under his horrible helmet, as if any minute he really might just gobble them all up. And he laughed his terrible laugh. "Ha, ha, ha, ha," he boomed, echoing horribly around and around the dry, dry valley. Well, Goliath might just as well have been a green, slimy monster with 3 heads, because God's people froze with fear. Their eyes glazed over and they turned pale. They knew if someone didn't do something quick, if someone didn't save them. But God would do something. He would send someone to save them. Now you remember that David was the youngest son of Jesse? Well, his brothers were soldiers in the army, remember? And one day when David brought his brothers their lunches, he saw Goliath, and he saw how scared everyone was. "Don't be afraid," David said. "I'll fight him for you." "You're only a little shepherd boy," the king said, "and Goliath is a great soldier. How will you fight him?" "God will help me," David said. So the king gave David his royal armor to wear, but it was too heavy and too big, and David couldn't even walk. So David said, "I won't need this," he said. Instead, David picked out 5 smooth stones from the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he took his slingshot and he walked towards Goliath. Step, step, step. Goliath walked towards David. Thud, thud, thud. "You?" Goliath peered down at the small boy. "I'm little," David shouted up to him, "but God is great." And Goliath laughed an even terribler laugh than usual. "Ha, ha, 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 ha," it went. With just one swing of his giant sword, Goliath could finish the boy off. But David kept going. It isn't how strong you are or how many swords and spears you have that will save you. It is God who saves you. This is God's battle, and God always wins his battles. So David put a stone in his sling, and he swung it around, and he let it go. And the little stone flew whiz like a bullet through the air and struck Goliath right between the eyes. Goliath stopped laughing. He stumbled and staggered and crashed, fell dead. When the Philistines saw Goliath was dead, they ran away. And when God's people saw them running away, they cheered. God had saved his people. David was a hero. And many years later, God would send his people another young hero to fight for them and to save them. But this hero would fight the greatest battle the world had ever known. Remember that story? When David slung his slingshot, he hit Goliath right there on his what? His forehead. That's right. So that's how David took care of Goliath. That's one of our favorite stories. So I thought you would enjoy hearing that again. Well, we're going to be talking about the letter W today and Wackford Walrus. And let's sing our song that goes with Wackford Walrus today. You ready?
W.
Wackford Walrus, Wackford Walrus. W says whoop, 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 whoop. Wagon, window, water, watermelon, waffles. W says whoop, 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 whoop. And that's the sound that W makes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm going to read a little bit of the story to you about Wackford Walrus so you'll know a little bit about him. Wackford Walrus lives in a part of our world where it's always cold and where pieces of ice bigger than your house float in the water. Wackford likes the cold. He swims in the ocean and climbs out onto the ice floes. Those are huge pieces of ice that float in the water. God made Wackford with thick skin and a special fat called blubber to protect him from the cold. Wackford Walrus is very big. When he holds up his head, he is almost as tall as your daddy, but his body is much, much bigger. Wackford's brown skin is so full of wrinkles, look at all his wrinkles, that he looks like his skin is too big for him. And he has tiny little eyes and a big nose. And when you look at his face, the first thing you'll notice are Wackford's two tusks. Those are his tusks. The tusks are really two of Wackford's teeth that have grown very long. Since these teeth are much too big for his mouth, they hang down, one on each side of his mouth. And Wackford also has many whiskers. And God gave Wackford 4 flippers instead of arms and legs. His flippers are very strong, and Wackford can lift himself up on his front flippers, and he can walk on all 4 flippers. And when he walks, he looks a little funny, but Wackford is a very good swimmer. God made him able to move very fast in the water. So look at Wackford Walrus. He does look like he has a lot of wrinkles, and he looks like he has a big smile on his face. And I wonder, have you noticed anything on my desk that might start with the letter W? Look what I found today. I found a wolf, like the big bad wolf from Three Little Pigs. Wolf starts with the letter W. Maybe you can look around your house and see if you can find something else that might start with the letter W, like Wackford Walrus. I hope you have a great day today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you.